So like every time I do a drawing, I start by giving myself a bounding box, which is proportional to whatever image I'm looking at. In this case, it's an old photograph, a real from film photograph of the house that I grew up in. And what I try to do is lay out everything, all the big shapes first, which I've already done here at this point, but I make sure that I've got a good kind of guide for all of the big shapes before I start filling in, like I'm doing now, the tones. And as I go, I try to be a little light with my tones. As you can see, I just went a little bit darker on the underside of the roof line up front, but it was not that dark at first. As I'm going, I'm kind of gauging how dark things need to be. You can still see the stuff in the foreground is very light. I've just indicated that there's shadows there, but eventually those are going to be much, much darker once I start adding in the directional lines for the grass and the different things that are growing in that area. This was before we actually had a landscaped flower bed there, so there were just lots of random wildflowers. You'll also notice that when I do leaves on trees and everything, I'm really just looking at shapes. And a lot of times it's an illusion. I will just fill in solid shapes, and eventually your eye will just kind of recognize those as leaves. Now, the ones that are closer to you, like the ones over by the chimney, are outlined a little bit more, because darker lines will come forward as far as, the spatial relationship goes. I really had fun drawing the wagon on this drawing. My mom immediately recognized it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this really, really sped up drawing process.